Son of a grimace. We're not supposed to have this in Hamilton. I'm in Southern Ontario. I moved down here to get away from this. What's going on? Check out that plate, eh guys? What's up, Paisan? So here they are, guys. We're gonna compare one of these older Elite editions of the American Muscle Superbird to this collector edition. Now, before you say, what a big dummy he is, one of them's a 69, one of them's a 70, they're both two different cars, blah, 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 blah. I'm not talking about that. Breathe. I'm talking about the quality of the casting. Plus, somebody suggested, Taskmaster 58, here you go. He said that it would be cool to see one of these types unboxed. So, if he was thinking about buying one of these, I want him to see what's the better one. If he got one in the Elite Edition or if he got one in the Collector's Edition. What's the difference? So that's what we're going to check out. Now guys, it's not going to be a shootout because this one is from 2007. This one, believe it or not, is from 1995. So we're opening this to get the straps off it as well. But yeah, we're not going to fault this if it's not fancy like this. This is just a comparison. So if you go to buy one of these cars, you know what you're getting ahead of time. You're not wondering, right? So I have a feeling it's going to be the orange one because it's way newer. It's a low number and it's that fancy Elite edition, but we'll see. Okay guys, so I'll show you what we're going to get into here a little bit closer in their boxes. Again, this isn't a shootout between these two because I'm going to say it again, they're not even the same car. What we're looking for is quality. Like, does the trunk open on both of them? Do both of them have all the same features? Like one's a Superbird, one's a Daytona. There's a year difference. But I want to show, if you're thinking about buying a wing car, the different characteristics, I guess you could say, of these lines, like the Elite Edition line and the Collector's Edition line, which is older, from 95. It's not the oldest one we have in the house, but it's close. So here is what I'm expecting to be gorgeous. It's one of 1,254 limited edition. It's funny because if you're on my Facebook, I posted a screenshot the other day. Mecum Auctions is now selling this stuff, or I guess maybe they always have been. I don't know how long they've been doing it. But one of these cars is on there, same exact. It wasn't the same color, but it's the same Elite Edition, one of 1,254. There was 20 some bids on it, and it was up to $335, guys. And that's in US dollars, and you know that's not the bottom line. Like, if you're bidding on a Mecum auction, there's fees associated and everything else. Like, I was like, holy crap, people need to research this stuff. Jesus. Bid on it on an auction, pay all the fees, pay shipping, and then boom, you see one online for, you know, $200 on Marketplace, eh? These you see around, looks beautiful. I like the red line tires, like the red stripes. The other one's Elite Edition. This is Collector's Edition. Now again, they're different cars. One of them is a 69, I believe, yeah, and one of them's a 70. This one's a Daytona, that one is a Superbird. This is a video for G, although he probably has both of these cars in 6 different colors. But this is a car that if I'm in the store, and this is factory sealed, guys, by the way, hasn't breathed the air. Glenn had one that was open, actually, that I was going to use in this video, and he suggested grabbing this one because it still has the straps on it. And that way we're cracking one that has not breathed the air. I've really got to pop a new blade into this. I always say that in the video, and then after the video I forget until the next time I use it. So this boasts steerable wheels, opening doors and hood, detailed chassis, complete interior, 426 cubic inch Hemi painted in black with a red spoiler. Actually the back, I'll read you some facts. 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona. The late 60s brought an unconventional look to the automotive industry. Dodge was tired of taking beatings in the NASCAR events from their competitors. These big races spell great sales success or failure in the southeastern United States. With the design of the 69 Charger Daytona, Dodge's new adaptation of the Charger Coupe opened many eyes and mouths. Though it was made for NASCAR racing, the requirement stated that Dodge must build and sell 500 of the Charger Daytonas. Since there weren't 500 racers out there who were interested in the Daytona, Dodge put their offer to the street. Wow, I didn't know that. The interest was there and 503 were road-bound. Chrysler found itself redefining aerodynamics with its long, sleek nose with a spoiler underneath, air relief vents above the front wheels, and the trademark rear spoiler. The combination of these, coupled with Dodge, created the world's fastest stock car. In 1969, NASCAR driver Bobby Isaac stated that anyone could go and hit 180 mile per hour straight out of the showroom with a 426 Hemi under the hood. This claim sent insurance companies racing to their rate books. Insurance companies disliked the muscle cars and thus their rates were stiff if you even had a clean driving record. At the Bonneville Salt Flats on September 12th, Bobby Isaac himself hit a top speed of 217,368 mile per hour for the flying kilometer, breaking Mickey Thompson's record. Isaac also set the 100 mile per hour at 194.290 mile per hour. Wow. You got to remember, guys, these are big, heavy cars too. The wing thing may have stopped traffic, turned heads, and flown down roads, but it also made a place for itself in NASCAR racing for which it was intended. The Charger Daytona's outrageous cosmetics graced the oval, the street, and showrooms around the states in the late 60s and early 70s. Wow, I'm actually glad I read that because, like, I knew how awesome they were to get them from the showroom, but I didn't know that they were like the actual race cars and that they had to sell 500 of them before they could use them. Okay, guys, we're getting this out of the box. I'm not really too familiar with this style box either. Haven't opened too many of them. They're the odd shaped. At least there's something on the bottom to grab onto or pull. Now this is strapped since '95, guys. So we're hoping that there's no marks on the paint. We got lucky with a lot of them. A couple of them we haven't been lucky, but okay, there we go. Of course, we're taking her off the base. We're gonna give it a good go around. We're gonna take light glamour shots, and the reason I say light is because we got another unbox to do. And then we got the big glamour shot session. So, I think with this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna debase it first. And this is running just 2 flatheads holding that big heavy thing in. The Ertl bases, I was telling Glenn just earlier when I was putting the American Graffiti ones back on. They're perfect. Like, the cars almost click into place on them and you don't gotta line up the screws or anything because it's already all lined up. One I wasn't impressed with was with my Sunstar DeLorean. Oh boy, bunch of screws to take out, and they were, I believe, different sizes, a couple of them, and it was just a pain in the butt. This here, 2 screws, 2 flatheads. Oh, I got a funny story. So you guys, I got a few, and thank you for the nice comments, by the way, guys, on my video for my 100 video, or not my 100, for my year of YouTube. I talked a little bit about addiction, and I've got stories of my life, guys. Like, I could probably write a book, some of the stories I could tell you guys, and maybe over time I'll tell some of them. Because I've done stuff in my life that normal people wouldn't even think about. But today I had my appointment to get what's called, I get a Sublocade injection in my stomach. And I get it once a month. And I was chosen to get this. I take it instead of Suboxone or anything like that. The reason they chose me to take this injection, I guess when I started taking it, it was largely experimental, and they chose me and a female because they said we were the most stable clients, as they put it. We'd never had a relapse, and probably because we had benefits through our work to cover it, because one of these injections apparently costs about $670. But anyway, I'm supposed to go get it once a month. Now, sometimes I go over it and I forget because I'm busy, work, whatever, right? So you guys remember the last couple of months, I have, you know, my life, last few months, my life got turned upside down. Diane left, this and that. I had to move, had to sell off. Well, somewhere in the shuffle, I forgot about my injection. And I kept remembering it a couple times, but I was like, oh, I'm only a month over, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Well, a couple times I got sick. I got sick a couple weeks ago, threw up violently a bunch of times, and then it went away. And I thought it can't be withdrawal from that, because if it was, it wouldn't have went away, right? Little did I know, according to the doctor, that it comes in waves. So, I got sick that day, and then yesterday at work, at the end of my shift, I felt great all day, and then about an hour before the end of my shift, I went and told my boss, I said, I gotta go home, or else I'm gonna barf everywhere. Like, I just felt horrible, right? And I got home and I went right to bed, like immediately to bed. Didn't eat anything, didn't have a cheech even. Just right to bed. And to my surprise, like lately, I feel kind of like the Tin Man. Like, I've been getting aches and pains back. The other day at work, I noticed I took a little bit longer to get something done, and I asked myself, am I getting old? You know what I mean? Because I have a really demanding physical job. And wasn't that at all. It's because I went over by almost 3 months. I can't believe it. The doctor he goes, I can't believe that you haven't been in here since October to get that. Normal people, that would be playing with fire, because it's to help keep you off opiates. Me, I'm just done with them, you know what I mean? Like, the only thing it'll do to me is make me violently sick. And that would suck, because it'll make me miss work, stuff like that. But I wouldn't be worried about a relapse from it. I'd be worried about getting sick as hell. But yeah, it started happening, and I started getting achy and stuff and feeling my age, because it also helps with pain relief, right? Anyway, I'll shut up about that, but it was funny that I went that far over it, and it wasn't worse. 69 plate, beautiful again, guys. No paint rash. You might be seeing a couple dust flakes, a couple fingerprints, but no paint rash whatsoever. That beautiful Ertl paint. And something about the black. They kill the black. I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna go around this thing. That's a weird hair in there sent to us from the factory. I don't know if you could see it, but right here it looks almost like a feather. It's in the window. Weird. Really weird. Anyway, so starting at the trunk. Trunk does not open. Somebody was asking in Canadian diecast 118 collectors if one of these, the trunk open, but there's a bunch of different makers and models, right? So people were asking, well, which maker, which one? I like the rims, like the red line tires on it. They look period correct. Like the blacks or the red stripe on the black. If it was all black, I think it would be too much. I like the red stripe. A white stripe on the black would have been nice too. Got the gas cap. Nice outer details. Charger. The mirrors look like your General Lee mirrors. It's got the Hemi on the door. So outside, it looks great. Bottom of it is average details. Best part about it so far is that black paint. It's got hood pins, but these are non-functional. They look good enough though that I was just tugging on them to see if they were functioning like the Black Ghost. So they do look good, but now let's see the interior. Of course, we're saving the best for last. Interior, we're not gonna bitch, guys, because this is 1995, okay? If this was made today, I'd be bitching a bit because that could be a little bit more detailed, little chrome accents maybe. The dash is like a flat red. It does have what looks like, is that wood grain? Wood grain on the center console. So I do give them credit for that. That does really stand out. But the dash is pretty blank on this. It's going to be interesting to see the engine. I'm going to guess it's that orange engine. Like in my Vanishing Point car, it's not going to have wiring and stuff. But we'll see. I've been shocked before by this stuff. Now, the gauges are filled in nicely. I like that. But the steering wheel, I like that it's wood grain. It's got the silver accents. But the pedals are not filled in, if you look. Is there a lap belt? No lap belt. That's okay. It does have the design, though, of a Charger. But pedals aren't filled in as an example. They made a little effort. They did the chrome here. But now, for the good part. It opens up on the non-fancy but never fail Ertl hinges. That the Auto Art has the same hinges. A little bit tight because it's new. But okay, yeah, it just worked in. It was sticky because of the paint, but now it's a lot better. And it's not the engine I thought it was. Because it's actually the Ford. It's got a different valve cover on it. Head, whatever. Looks a little bit better than I thought it would actually. It's got black valve covers, which I like. Usually they're chrome. That's done in black. I like that accent. Could use a few more details like the battery filled in. I would call this, guys, your entry level diecast is what I would call it. Or maybe mid-level, I would say. Because it's going to look good sitting there on the shelf. Like, you're not going to see the interior of it unless you got the door open, whatever, right? But exterior shots, it looks pretty good. Steering, the wheels do turn with the steering wheel turns the wheels, as you could see. And again, guys, especially with this heavy casting, if it's sitting on the table, Try not turning the wheels with the steering wheel, it loosens it up, etc. It could break it. Try moving it with your hands like that. It's a cool feature, but it can become loose or broken over time. So here is the first one, guys. Let's go take a light glamour shot. Okay guys, so just light glamour shots of this because we're gonna get into the two of them and do a compare. But good looking to look at on the shelf. That black paint, guys. Ertl sure knows how to do paint. That's one thing I love about them. I see that paint rush minimal on Ertls. No matter how inexpensive they are, they just got the paint process right. Hood stays up, guys, to reveal this. And it's actually better than I expected. I thought it was going to be that orange cover for the top of the engine. Maybe that's for the 440. I think it is actually. But I like the black valve covers on it. I think it stands off nicely with it. Now the interior, like I showed you guys before, is okay. But I do like the wood grain. That is definitely a plus because it breaks things up. But other than that, it looks like a lot of just the red molding. Needed a bit more silver to break it up, I think. Trunk doesn't open, so nothing to see here except a sexy rear end. And I think that's detailed pretty nice as well. I like the chrome around the tail light. I like that it shows the trunk lock in silver. It's not molded the same as the body. I think the tailpipes look okay. Definitely a nice display piece for sure. It doesn't look cheap. It's only when you start digging inside that you could see that it's more of a little bit less detailed. But from the outside, she looks great. If you're going for Daytona with the red stripe and black exterior. Okay guys, so if you like Daytonas and you like that year and you like that color combo, the black with the red stripe, and you see one for a good price, it's got to be a good price, grab it up. And the cool thing about it is it's vintage as well. So if you get one with a mint box, you could save it like a time capsule, right? Because these are from 1995, believe it or not. And for that year, I think it's pretty decent. So if you're just looking for something to kind of just look at on the shelf like that, and you find it for the right price, grab it. But I wouldn't pay hundreds or anything crazy for it. Before we get into all that, guys, I'm going to ask your opinion on some of these cars behind me here. Now, we're going to be cracking these, not only because they have to be destrapped, but because I want to have a closer look at them. Like, for example, this Cobra Jet 428 Mustang, you never see it in this black color, at least not me. So I wouldn't mind having a look at that because it's gorgeous. And you know, guys, I don't collect that style Mustang unless it's like Eleanor or Bullet. I'm a Fox body guy. This doesn't have straps, but it looks awesome. So we're going to check that out as well because you know Highway 61 doesn't make garbage. This guy I'm really looking forward to because I've unboxed Cobras before, but never like that in a racing style like that. And I really like the job they did on the other race cars, so I'm looking forward to this guy. Also gonna do this gold Mustang here and see if it's got any features that the other ones don't. We also have another one of these. Now I know I did one of these, but when I did it, I had my old camera, as Glenn pointed out, my old crappy iPhone 7. And I think it was the video where I told you guys that Diane had left, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know about the quality of the video. Anyway, guys, I'll show you. I was going through Glenn's cabinet checking to make sure nothing was strapped. And I said, Glenn, what is this doing with straps still on it? especially that it's got white paint. So we have to crack that no matter what. Glenn's $100 Ecto, we got him. Sealed in the box, $100. Just as a price point if any of you guys want it. This is the 1 of 21 scale. So it's not a full 1 of 18 scale. They scaled it down a bit, maybe to fit in cabinets, whatever, I don't know. But I'm glad they did because it fits my Burpee. Anyway, guys, if it's something you would like to see a more in-depth of, let me know and I will film the unboxing. If nobody wants to see it, I'll unbox it and not film it. Yeah, I was telling Glenn, there's no way I could have had brain power that day to do a good video because I had my world come boop. But if the Ecto is something you guys would like to see a little bit more in depth, leave a comment, let me know, and that'll be one that we film. Sorry guys, gotta grab my coffee. So yeah guys, I already did the Ecto, but it doesn't feel like I did it justice. Good details there so far with the little Roadrunner on the front. Hey Glenn? Mm-hmm. You know, one of these that I wanted forever though guys that I didn't get, there's that number, the 1 of 1254. It was actually made by Jada, and if I ever see it cheap enough, I'll get it. It's the blue Roadrunner that has the Roadrunner figure with it. But I don't collect that scale, so that's one that I would have to see cheap somewhere, like at a yard sale, something like that. I was just telling Glenn as well, this one weighs, it feels like it weighs significantly more than the black one. But again, this is not a shootout because this is a lot newer than the other Ertl, which is from 95. Deceiving because the box is in such good shape, but the other one's from 95. So this is more of a green light style box. Or Auto World with the windows, more windows to see it. And this one's gonna have the plastic cones the way that a green light would, but it's on a base. So they were starting to convert over at this point. Okay, so first thing we are going to look for, guys. No rash. No rash. Paint's perfect. Okay, so I kind of cheated there, so what I'm gonna do is see if the back of the box has any interesting info. And it does. I apologize, guys. Based on the 1970 Plymouth Superbird, based on the Plymouth Roadrunner, the Superbird was designed to fly on the high banks of super speedways. With its sloping nose, concealed headlights, and high wing stabilizer, the car had a coefficient of drag low enough to soar at unheard of speeds. The street version, available only in 1970, rolled with a standard 375 horsepower, 440 cubic inch power plant, or the chance to take the wing with the 390 horsepower, 440 cubic inch six-pack, with 3 two-barrel carbs, or the famed 425 horsepower, 426 cubic inch street Hemi engine. All left the factory with two things in common: a black vinyl roof needed to cover the seams left behind when the top was modified to fit a flush-mounted rear window, and a shape that still turns heads to this day. Interesting bit about the vinyl roof. And that's it. This boasts that it's 118 limited edition, opening doors and hood, steerable front wheels, detailed interior and chassis. So it does not say the trunk opens, so let's see if it does. It looks more possible than the other one, but I don't know. Oh, opening trunk. Opening trunk. And it's got no junk in that trunk. But it's an opening trunk nonetheless. Like the Plymouth and the Bird. Just gorgeous. And we still got to destrap it. Sorry guys, I'm back. I just had a wave of nausea. Sometimes that happens. Luckily I didn't get sick, but sometimes that happens and eat all day. We got to get this last band here. Okay. See if I can't. I might have to get it off the base first, actually. Might make it a bit easier. Okay, so. Oh, excuse me, guys. Almost got her, guys. She's coming. Don't forget, guys, ODA this Saturday, eh? We're gonna pull up. We're pulling up. Better have meatball subs. No, in all honesty though, the Knights of Columbus catering downstairs has the best meatball sub I've ever had. And the last time we went there, they didn't have them because I guess the person that makes them was sick or in the hospital or something. So I'm hoping that they are better and hoping that they have a good supply of meatball subs at ODA show. Okay, I don't want the base to just fall out of my hand and on the ground, so tipped it up. Newer casting, using a bit longer screws than they would normally use on most of them. But we got them. Actually, it's the same size screws as the black one, so I was wrong there. Okay, bottom nicely detailed, significantly more detailed. There is an antenna on this car, so be very careful. Okay, so we are going to get that last strap off. Now, when you're destrapping using a knife, go somewhere where you're not near the paint, such as the bottom of the car. I think we got it in one haul there. We did. Okay. Now, let's have a look inside. We've already seen the trunk. Actually, one last look at her. Feels good in my hands, and it's significantly heavier than the other one. And ooh, the inside's nicely detailed. Chrome on the door. Dash has a little bit of detailing on it. Seat belt. Have a look at the Driver's side door closes beautifully, the doors. Nicely done. The pedals, they got them so they stand out. Armrest is done on the door even. Could even see the door latch mechanism done in silver. So they just went the extra mile on these Elite Edition ones. Plymouth on the back. They're just a step up. Now, I bet you guys want to see the best part, right? That nose is nicely done too. Nicely detailed. Silver, black inlay. Now, I'm guessing you guys are going to want to see this engine. If we can get the hood up. Okay, so it's got the... Now that, I was mistaken. That's the 440 cover. That's the orange one I was expecting on the last one, but it was the wrong engine. That orange Hemi. Now this is... got black heads as well. It does have some hoses, but the seats have a little bit of play in them, but they don't move forward and backwards. But we'll have a look at this up on the LookSee set beside the other one. Wheels turn nicely. I've already told you about the heavy castings with turning the wheels with the steering wheel when it's on a table, so I don't gotta tell you guys that because you guys are smart retro maniacs. So let's have a look on the LookSee set. There you go, guys. Again, one's a Daytona, one's a Superbird, but they're both winged cars. So good to do a comparison just on the detailing, because they don't need to be identical to see the quality, right? Just another look at that, nicely detailed on the Elite Edition. They both got sexy butts. Look under both their hoods. One's a 440, so they're different engines, but black one holds its own actually. This one, it just has a little bit more finer details. The interior, under the hood. I like the way it sits as well. But the black one's nice in itself. I wouldn't put it out on the street, that's for sure. A little look at their sexy fronts. I would love to see one of these in person again. I remember when I was a kid, there was one in that crazy fluorescent, almost green color running around Sault Ste. Marie. Wonder if that thing's still around, but I was a real young kid. It was like that green popsicle color, lime Ricky green, you know? Gorgeous though. And again, Retro Maniacs, this video is dedicated to Taskmaster 58. Here's a good shot of it for you, buddy. Beautiful. Not just one, but a couple wing cars for you, a double feature. I read your comment and said we'll do it up. Anyhow, ladies and fellas, you know what time it is. It's too late for me. I'm on that damn morning shift. So time for this guy to get some rest. And plus, sometimes the next 12 to 24 hours, waves of nausea come after the shot. But other than that, you're fine. So a small side effect that I would take over and over again because it has really helped me. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, smash the like button for me. Like it's a speed bag, but just make sure it stays on like. Hit subscribe if you haven't. I'm watching. And share, and let me know in the comments if there's any cars in the videos that you would like to see, or if you would like a better in-depth video on the Ecto, because I know I wasn't in my full state when I did that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, be safe in the snow. Hopefully, by the time you watch this, I'll be unboxing the Miami Vice car or the Ferris figure that, by the way, I'm waiting on Ferris Bueller. Max asks me about it. I tell him about it. He finds another place, orders one. He gets his and he's playing with it. I still don't got mine. So hurry up, Canada Post or whoever the frig. Anyway, guys, be safe.